Well, kia ora everyone. A very good morning to all my travel trade whānau throughout New Zealand. Hope this finds you well and hanging in there okay. Welcome to our second series of our Travel Trade Enrichment webinar Wednesdays. I hope that everybody can see the screen and hear me okay. I know that on the very first one that we did, I had a few technical issues, so I really appreciate your patience, and I think I've got my head around this whole Zoom webinar new device. So yeah, let's crack on. So firstly, I'd like to welcome Jim from the Wyoming Office of Tourism, who'll be speaking to you later on today. We've got some exciting news to share with you. That's me. So what we're going to cover off today is a recap of our essential trade tools. Plus we've got a new one that I'm really excited to be able to share with you. We'll be reviewing the Geological Wonders Insider Guide road trip itinerary, and Jim will be talking through the Wyoming portion of that particular road trip itinerary, which is really exciting. And we'll have Q&As, so as you know with Zoom, if you've got any questions, please use the little button down on the bottom of your screen and post your questions. I will try and get through as many of them as we can, but if you've got any throughout the presentation, please just post your questions there. And then we've got the prize time. So for those that have downloaded the Kahoot app, the PIN number is 3997. Hold on, I better just check. 794. So that's 399794. And just so you know, we won't be doing the actual Kahoot quiz questions until Jim's portion of the webinar when he's speaking. So there won't be anything kind of at the front end when I'm going over our recap of the essential trade tools. But yep, just so you know, when Jim starts speaking, you've got to really listen and have your devices ready. So that PIN number again is 399794. Alrighty, so let's kick off. I just wanted to kind of go over with you again some of our essential trade tools and one new one as well. So the first one that I'd like to talk to you about is our new tool, which is the US COVID-19 travel guidelines, and this includes all of the cities and states, all the major hotel chain consortia throughout the US, and all the airlines. It's quite comprehensive, and don't worry, I'll be able to share with you all these links and all these call to actions and all the information contained in this presentation with you once the webinar is finished, so you'll have some reference. But what I did want to do is just show you quickly on our on the actual website what it looks like. So you'll be able to, that's the PIN number, so I'm just going to flick over to here. And so as you can see, this is actually based on, this is housed, this particular information on our travel trade website. And if I scroll down, it lists down all the states and cities by regions. I'll just scroll down here and show you a few more of them. And if you click on the particular city or state, there's the hotels, there's the airlines. It's very, very comprehensive. But I'll just go up here and I'll just show you an example of, say, Hawaii. So if you click on Hawaii, what it will do is take you to the Hawaii government's, the state of Hawaii's COVID site, and it will give you all the information on what you should know, what you could do, and travel information in case you do have anybody that is traveling to Hawaii. So that is a fantastic new tool for you to have. And as I mentioned, I will share with you the information about that in some post communications to you post this webinar. So moving along, our next tool, just to recap on what we went through before. As I mentioned, the travel trade website, which has been created especially for you as your one-stop shop for everything. It's got in there destination information across all the 50 states, District of Columbia, and the 5 territories. There you'll also find our amazing insider guides, our road trip itineraries, and it also, in the resources section, you have contact details for every single destination marketing organization through all the states and cities. So if you've got a client that's in the future wanting to travel to a particular city and you need some information, the details will be there and the links are there, and it will take you directly to that DMO's travel trade site. And as I mentioned, I'll be sharing this presentation and a recorded version of this post webinar to you all as well, so you've got all the information there. Our USA Discovery Program, I think we've got a couple of winners who are joining us today from our last incentive, which was Big Badge Bonanza, which was hugely successful. We had over 1,000 agents enter across Australia and New Zealand, and a total of over 4,000 individual specialist badges completed. So yeah, if you haven't joined, I encourage you to sign up, usadiscoveryprogram.co.nz. There you'll also find the Wyoming Specialist Badge, which I encourage you to dive into and have a look, complete the quizzes and become a Wyoming Specialist. And also, just a wee heads up, we will be having a new incentive that starts earmarked for August. You'll find details of that on our Travel Trade Facebook page. If you haven't joined, I'll show you some information about that. But it will be quite a significant one, and so we'll be sharing details of that to you coming up very soon. Go USA TV, this is an app that you can download on your phone. It's free. You need to sign up. It's very easy, just one click and you're in. This has got a huge amount of content available to you, with full episodes, documentaries and films. There's our America's Musical Journey, which is hosted by Aloe Black, full-length feature film on there as well. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to go and have a look at that. There's some great content on there. And our USA Trip Planner. So this is actually housed also on our Travel Trade site, and I'll give you a quick demonstration of this to you. It's a fantastic tool that you can literally enter a start and end destination, and it will create an amazing itinerary for you with all the must-sees and do's and stops along the way. You can put your own stamp on it that says this itinerary was, especially made for you by me. You can put your own branding on it, and you can share it electronically. So I'll just give you a very quick demonstration of it now on the website, and just to show you how great it is as a tool. So if you go into the Travel Trade site here and go to Plan Your Trip, and then just scroll down to Trip Planner. And then I'm just going to make this very, very basic for just the purpose of showing you here. So if you put in, say, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and let's put in Wyoming, since we've got Jim joining us soon. You can just put in a start and end date. I'm just going to do some random dates here across 2 weeks. Then you can actually personalize it based on these particular preferences. So you can have something that's got hidden gems, something that's slow and easy, something has historic sites, Kiwis love shopping. Then it will create an itinerary for you. So 15 days. You can change the order of it. You can put in their flight details. It creates maps. You can show it as a calendar. If you are doing it by drive, you puts in there the drive times between everything, and then it has the must kind of sees and do's along the way. So there's a great tool for you when people do start traveling to Um, the US again, I encourage you to go and have a look at it and try it out. It's a fantastic tool, and as I mentioned before, you can actually share it. If you just click on this button here, you can actually click on print or share. So yeah, have a go, have a wee play around with it. It's a great tool. Tool for you. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. All right. Moving along, our Facebook group page. So I'd love it if you could join our Facebook group page if you haven't already. It is a closed private group. It's specifically designed only for the New Zealand travel trade. Here you'll really get to hear first about the incentives, any promotions that we've got coming up. There'll be a recorded version of this particular webinar uploaded on there as well for future reference. So all you need to do to find it is just in the search bar within Facebook, when you're on your profile page, just type in Brand USA Travel Trade New Zealand. It'll take you there. Just need to answer a few simple questions and agree to the rules of the page, and then you're in. If you could share this with your other colleagues in your office, that would be really appreciated. The Aussies are beating me at the moment. Their numbers are a little bit higher than me, so I don't like it when the Aussies beat me. So I'd really appreciate it if you could get on board and help me get those numbers up. That would be really appreciated. And if we could just keep it to only people who sell or book the US, we don't want it kind of going out to friends of friends or family members as much as I'd like to, but it's been designed specifically for you guys for the New Zealand travel trade. All right. So our insider guide, which is a road trip itinerary that we're going to be chatting about today, is our Geological Wonders insider guide, which features the states of Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho. This is downloadable. It's been all fully customized, so it's in kilometers. You can change the order of it. Now it is bookable, not currently, but it will be bookable through your preferred wholesaler. We're looking at that being in about early next year. There's a great range of images and video content that you can download, and it features the states of Utah, as I mentioned, Wyoming. Jim's going to be talking about some of the amazing spots that are featured on this particular itinerary soon, and it also features the Twin Falls, Idaho. So you can find this on the Travel Trade site, and I've got the link there. So as I mentioned, I'll be sharing this with you. So yeah, really excited to be able to bring that to you today. And so without further ado, I'd love to introduce Jim, is coming to us live from Cheyenne in Wyoming. He's the Global Partnership Senior Manager for the Wyoming Office of Tourism. And for those that don't know, Wyoming actually translates to the land of vast plains, which is a really apt description of the state's amazing, spacious natural environments. I'll hand it over to you now, Jim.
Great, thanks, Wayne. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for letting me impose on your webinar here. Thanks to Wayne, thanks to Brand USA for letting me come on. Hopefully some of you folks have made the trip to Wyoming. I know it's pretty far from where you all are located, but if you haven't, hopefully this will inspire you a little bit and inspire some of your clients as well. So let me pull up a presentation here and we'll get things rolling. So yeah, like Wayne said, name is Jim Wollenburg. I represent the Wyoming Office of Tourism, and we represent the entire state of Wyoming, not just one particular destination or attraction, anything like that. We're the all-encompassing marketing arm for the state tourism here. First, let me tell you a little bit about Wyoming. So we are known as the cowboy state, and rodeo is our state sport. So that really kind of drives home that cowboy kind of persona and just way of living in the state. We're really known for ranching, whether it's current working ranches or we have all the way up to very, very high-end ranches. One in particular, Bush Creek Ranch, they've been voted multiple times over as the best resort in the USA. So that's pretty, pretty high honors and pretty cool that that's right here in Wyoming. And like I said, all the way down to the working folks that you also still stay at. So if you want kind of a high-end luxury experience, but still kind of a ranch feel, you can certainly stay at those high rents. Otherwise, if you want to get your hands dirty, work with some cattle, ride some horses, throw some hay bales around, you can get all that experience at the working ranches as well. So it's kind of that nice 1-2 punch. We're kind of known as the Wild West. Outlaws such as Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, actually gets his name from a small town in northeast Wyoming called Sundance. So we kind of have that lore about the just kind of Wild West and all that great British history that comes along with that. And then lastly, our Native American culture is very big in the state. It is best represented in kind of the central west part of the state in that area called Fremont County. But you can get glimpses of it through our various state parks, through our various state museums, all that kind of thing. So those are really kind of what makes Wyoming, Wyoming. And as you can see on the slide here, Wayne hasn't chipped in, so hopefully everything is pulling up fine and you guys can hear me. But if you can see down here, where we're surrounded by, this is just kind of where we lay, surrounded by South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, and then we've got Colorado, Utah, and Nebraska down at the bottom. So that's kind of a quick thing on us, and then I'm going to swap it. Sorry
to interrupt, Jim. We've just got some of our agents are just finding it a little bit hard to hear, and so am I, just breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Maybe I'll just try to talk slower because I don't know if I can adjust my stuff. Okay, well, I guess I'll try to work through because I'm connected to the only stuff I can do. But so, hopefully folks got some of
We'll keep going, Jim,
okay.
if you like. We'll just see how we go.
Yeah, we can cruise on to the next slide because I think that's you, Wayne, and then I'll try to play around a little bit with my connection here.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, team, we've got our first question coming up for Kahoot. So if you haven't downloaded the PIN number, it is entered the PIN number rather. It's 399794. I'm just going to now start it. So there we go. Your first questions. What is the state sport of Wyoming? So you've got your 4 possible answers there. Great, so the answer was, of course, rodeo is the state sport of Wyoming. So thanks to everyone that did that. Well, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll change it over to you now.
Great, thanks, Wayne, and good job, everybody. Glad to see a lot of right answers there. Okay, and so moving along here, before we get to the main itinerary here, I wanted to highlight a couple, just another spot to know about the state of Cheyenne. That's our state capital. It is about an hour and a half's drive from Denver International Airport. So like I said, Colorado is just directly south of us. And so having that nice quick access to that large international airport really helps with flight options. A lot of connections come through. And again, only an hour and a half drive, you can get to Wyoming very quickly, and then kind of start your journey. Another big part about Cheyenne is we're really known for Cheyenne Frontier Days, the world's largest outdoor rodeo, and it goes on the last full week of July. So normally it would be happening right now, but it's really an all-encompassing, great kind of snapshot of Wyoming. It has nightly and weekly rodeos, so you can see all sorts of rodeo events, as well as there's concerts, there's street parties, there's food vendors. So it's kind of a great event to really plan a trip around. And like I said, it's the last full week of July, so you can easily plan that itinerary around it because it's not going to change. It's the same time every year. You can really plan ahead and get that experience. And also, nice thing about Cheyenne, you can kind of see a map down here where the star is. That's where Cheyenne's located. You really have great access to the rest of the state. When you're cruising along the southern portion, you want to head up towards Devil's Tower to the north, or you want to kind of do a great road trip through some unique towns and forests and parks on your way towards Yellowstone or Jackson. You can do all that from Cheyenne. So it's great, really great access to the rest of the state and great access from your long journey to airport connections. So we've got another quiz. I'm going to swap it back over. Okay, I'm going to bear with me 1 second. I'm going to run and grab some headphones, and we'll see it afterwards.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Thanks everyone for your patience. I'll now crack on with the second Kahoot question. So I hope you've got your devices ready. And the top of the table is Diplomat B. All right, so here's your second question. What is the name of the world's largest outdoor rodeo? So the answer is yes, it's the Cheyenne Frontier Days. So that was the answer. And so yeah, now I just have to wait for Jim to come back. Technology.
Yeah, sorry everybody, we ran through this the other day and it was working fine. I'm going to try calling in and just muting my my connection here.
It sounds fine now, Jim. Like
sound better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thanks,
I guess
Shari.
We'll run with it. We'll run with it while we can.
Okay.
Okay. So next here. So with the actual geological wonders itinerary. Fantastic itinerary. We'll be able to see some of the really great highlights that Wyoming has to offer. This northwest corner of the state is really probably our best known region of the state. So this itinerary is definitely going to hit all the hotspots. Couple of quick kind of options if you wanted to switch up the itinerary, if you had the freedom to do so. You could, sorry, I forgot to share my screen. So if you wanted to switch up the itinerary, you could connect from Salt Lake City and hit a town called Evanston right here in the corner. And with that, that'll give you access directly up to Jackson. You'll pass through Bridger-Teton National Forest. That's one of our 8 national forests throughout the state. And then you'll be able to hit Jackson. So you can kind of do this same tour, but spend a little more time in Wyoming and seeing a little bit more of kind of the smaller towns that Wyoming has to offer, some of the unique aspects of Wyoming. And you can do all that from Salt Lake City to Evanston. That also is about an 1.5-hour drive. So nothing too strenuous to kind of add additional time. And then once you do that, whether you go through Evanston or you're coming through, as the itinerary depicts, through Idaho there, you'll hit Jackson. This is really that gateway, that first stop before you start hitting the national parks. And so with that, you can see on the screen here, just the close proximity to Grand Teton National Park. To get to that gate, I mean, literally minutes drive, and then to get to Yellowstone National Park gate. If you're just cruising on through, you're looking, I don't know, hours or so for a drive, but chances are you're going to be stopping, taking in some sights, taking pictures of some wildlife that you see along the way through Grand Teton National Park. Jackson is really best known for Jackson Hole Mountain Resort. During summertime, they have world-class mountain biking, and then during skiing, or during wintertime, skiing is really the mecca of what drives people there. It's the most vertical mountain in the U.S., so you're getting very fast slopes. Terrain is a little more difficult than some areas. I like to say that the greens, blues, blacks are kind of a step up from what a lot of other resorts may classify their slopes as. So that's just something to keep in mind. But again, world-class, just kind of outdoor adventure in the Jackson area. And with that goes right along with world-class rafting. The Snake River is just to the west of town. There are a lot of outfitters that you can link up with to get your raft rentals, to get your life vest rentals, just get everything you need, and they'll take you out on the river. And you can do anything from kind of a more relaxed float down the river to getting into some really aggressive rapids. So that's really an awesome, just kind of outdoor opportunity for your travelers. And then within Jackson itself, kind of away from the kind of adventurous, outdoorsy side of things, the downtown Jackson is really a great shopping destination. You can see the arches here. These are made out of elk antler, and so that's right in downtown square. There's 4 of them on each square, and just very unique experience. There's some high-end shopping, there's some high-end restaurants and lodging, and there's 4 breweries in town. There's a lot of great restaurants in town. So it's really just kind of a great hub for you to start before your kind of your adventure into Grand Teton and Yellowstone. So I'll stop sharing here. We'll see how bad I sounded, and then Wayne can take over for another place.
Thanks, Jim. I think everyone can agree that sounded a lot better, so thank you for that. We just got one quick question from Amanda, who would like to know what grade is the river? Did you hear that, Jim?
Yep, I got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just had.
Yep, the river grade. So the grade kind of depends on where you're dropping into the river. At certain points, it can just be kind of the lesser class. Other kind of points along the river that you want to drop in on, and this would be something you can talk with your guide out. Could be all the way up to class 4s, and kind of get into higher, kind of more extended rapids.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda, for your question. All right, we're going on to our next question, team. So stand by. All right, so at the top of the leaderboard is Souring Out. So our next question is, what are the arches in the downtown square made of? I won't go through them, but good luck. Yes, that's right. So the arches are actually made of elk antler, and they actually look beautiful in Jim's picture he had on his slide there when they were all lit up at night. So yeah, so I'll just have a quick sneak and see who's at the top of the leaderboard. So Soaring Elk is in the lead, and close behind is Eager Stalk. All right, alrighty, we will now hand it back over to Jim.
All right. So, like I said, to get to that, that's the entrance. Minutes drive, and then you're in this. You can see from the beauty here, as basically as soon as you get into the park, you're going to see this natural beauty. You won't get this view immediately, but it's pure wilderness, pure wildlife, and just fantastic views all around. And within the park itself, you can see from the slide here, but I'll go into some additional details. There's 243 species of wildlife. So really between Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks, between the wildlife that's there, you're going to see pretty much everything that North America has to offer. It's really kind of a unique corner in that sense, whether it's wildlife like moose, elk, American bald eagle, to other kinds of bird species, other kind of mammals. Basically, you name it, you're going to be able to see it. Another big highlight within the park is Jackson Lake. It's great for fishing, camping, boating, kayaking. It's right along the Grand Tetons, so you can go out, float in the lake, whether it's on a boat, kayak, canoe, whatever you want to do, and have that tremendous view of the Tetons right out in front of you. Spend some time, swim in the water, just kind of get that experience going for you. And then within the park, there's also 5 lodges that you can stay at. So it's kind of neat for a big national park like that, to be able to stay right in the park itself. That way you don't really have to take up much time of your trip trying to get to the park. You can wake up in the morning, start your adventure, start your vacation right in there. Some of the kind of hidden gems, if you will, from my perspective, some of my favorite parts would be Wheat Lake. That's right at the base of Mount Moran, and it's right between Jenny Lake and Jackson Lake. So Jenny and Jackson Lake are kind of two of the more popular waterways, but the Wheat Lake is kind of between those big ones. Just doesn't really get as many people. So that's the place that you can get away, and I'm not going to say you'll be alone, depending on the time you might be, but you won't necessarily have some of the crowds. So that's just kind of a unique and gem event, if you will. So I'll stop here, and then we have another quiz.
All right, guys. I think that was probably not as good sound quality as the previous one, Jim. So I think it might be your internet connection. But thanks everyone for hanging in there with us. I'll now flick over to our next question. Right, so how many species of wildlife can be found in the Grand Teton National Park? Easy. And the answer is 243 species of wildlife can be found at Grand Teton. All right, so who's in the lead? So currently, Soaring Elk is still in the lead, and Epic Emu is close behind, as is Eager Stalk. All right, I will now hand it back to you, Jim, and hopefully we'll be able to hear you okay. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, really sorry everybody about the sound issues. Not really much I can do about it. It's been running down today, but obviously what's kind of really needed is not going to work. So maybe the recording will be better. Maybe we can send it out and folks could hear better. But keep pushing through. So after TETON National Park, we'll hit Yellowstone, and this is really what Wyoming is best known for. Like I said, this northwest corner is our most popular, but this Yellowstone National Park is really kind of our bread and butter, if you will. That's what everybody knows now. Majority of folks are coming specifically for Yellowstone, so we try to get them to expand that a little bit. But of course, on Yellowstone, 96% resides in Wyoming, so we really call Yellowstone our own. There's over 10,000 film features throughout the state, or the parks. Best known are Grand Prismatic and Old Faithful, but Lone Star here, this one is lesser known, not as many crowds show. So it's kind of a nice way to experience the Masters Rugby without being right next to other travelers' interests. Like I said about Grand Teton, all their species of wildlife, 394 species reside in Wyoming, in Yellowstone. So again, just going back to, if you're looking for some sort of wildlife in North America, between those two parks, you can see it. With Yellowstone, the tour options, you can go all throughout the park. If you kind of plan ahead, know where you're going, reach out to some resources and guidance, you can go all throughout the park. But it's really best known the lower and upper loops. The lower loop is going to have features to see like the West Geyser Basin, Old Faithful, and Old Faithful Land, Grand Prismatic, Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, just a lot more. And then the upper loop is best known for the wildlife. So if you want wildlife, that upper loop is really ideal.
All right, so we now, sorry, Jim. All right, so now we're going to go on to our next Kahoot question, which is, what percentage of Yellowstone National Park is located in Wyoming? Easy. Right, and of course it was 96%. So well done, everyone, for that. So got it right. The top of the leaderboard. Oh, Amiable Leopard is now in the lead. It's overtaken Soaring Elk, and Glad Octopus is second, and Epic Emu is coming up third. Well done. All right, I'll hand it back to you now, Jim.
All right, thanks everybody. I called in on my phone, so hopefully that will work, and hopefully there's not feedback from the speakers on the microphone. So Wayne, can you do like a sound check? Can people hear me this way?
Yeah, Jim, that's a lot better. At first there was a bit of feedback, but that's coming across quite clear now. And
okay.
Yeah, thanks, Shari. Yeah, it is. And Tanya and Nikki and Aaron.
Okay, good deal.
Fabulous.
Apologies for not doing this earlier. Everything I said about Wyoming was great, so Wayne can fill you in a little more. So going back to it. We'll go to the next slide. There we go. Okay, so that's, again, apologies for the sound. I'll be happy to send Wayne some notes on the presentation, and then maybe he can send it out to you all, just so you get some of that information, some of the kind of hidden gems and key points that I was trying to hit on. But kind of once we go through on that itinerary, on the itinerary that Brand USA has there, kind of some lesser known parts of Wyoming are going to be these next two slides. They still go through the same route, so you can do the same itinerary, but this might be maybe a different season to do that route, rather than maybe a spring, summer, fall. This could be maybe a late fall to winter type of itinerary that you could do. So first thing along this I want to talk about is the National Elk Refuge, and that is in Grand Teton National Park, but you actually access it right outside of downtown Jackson. So it's just past the visitor center. The Museum of Wildlife Art is directly across from it, and actually has a pretty awesome vantage point of the elk refuge, with some telescopes that you can really get a good zoom in shot of the elk. And then there's also many, many works of art. It's just kind of a unique museum that's right across from the elk refuge. But kind of the cool thing and fun thing about the elk refuge is to see all the elk. And you can see, I mean, there's thousands of elks here, but I don't know if folks can see on their computer this sleigh here. That's how you kind of explore the refuge. So you get on these horse-drawn sleighs, and they just take you right through the elk herds. They have somewhat of a designated route that they take, but otherwise, I mean, you're literally just being pulled straight through to all these elk, and you're literally meters away from the herds. So it's a pretty cool experience that you can do. Again, it's right outside of Jackson, and it's still within Grand Teton National Park, but just because Grand Teton National Park is so huge, the park itself from this point, right outside of Jackson, so you can spend a day shopping, eating lunch, have a beer or two, and then go check out the elk refuge. You definitely want to bundle up for this experience, because as you can see, it's during December and April. So it's wintertime in Wyoming here, and it gets cold, and you're just out in a sleigh. So there's not much to kind of shield you from the elements. So wear a hat, wear gloves. They have blankets for you, but definitely layer up, check the weather. But this is a very, very unique, kind of different experience that a lot of folks don't necessarily think of, and that a lot of itineraries don't necessarily include, just because of that seasonality aspect of it. So we'll stop here, and then we'll share another quiz.
Great, thanks, Jim. That looks fantastic. All right, so on to our next Kahoot question, and that is, what museum overlooks the National Elk Refuge? Bit of a tricky one. All right, and it is the National Museum of Wildlife Art. Right, so 19 people got that correct. It was a bit of a tricky one. So who's in the lead now? So we've got Zany Condor is in the lead with Epic MU second, and Amiable Leopard is in third place. All right, I will now hand it back to you, Jim.
Great, thanks, Wayne. And that was a tricky one. You kind of got him with the wording on that one, I think. Okay, and then lastly, again, along the same itinerary, so you won't need to alter plans or anything like that, but just kind of different season, is winter in Yellowstone. So I've had the opportunity to experience winter in Yellowstone, and it's incredible. It's completely different from summertime. You're still able to see all the same stuff you would typically see during peak season in Yellowstone. But as you can see from the pictures, I mean, this is a picture we use, but this isn't necessarily a stock photo. It could just be you, your spouse, your friends, your family, whatever it may be, some bison and Old Faithful erupting. There's significantly less people. So that just makes it a very, very unique experience. Get away from the crowds, come during wintertime is kind of what we like to say. The lodging and access is a little different just because it is winter, but you can still get to the park. So with the lodging side of things first, Old Faithful Snow Lodge and Mammoth Hotel are the only two actual lodges that stay open. So those can fill up quick, so you definitely want to plan ahead. But again, it's not the sheer amount of crowds that peak season has. So your odds of getting into the park are a little bit better. Otherwise, you can stay in Jackson, and there are shuttles that will pick you up, whether downtown Jackson, or there's a ranch that you can drive to yourself, and then the shuttle picks up from there. But you access the park from any of those gates, really. The south entrance will stay on just because that's the way the route flows. But you access that through either a snow coach or a snowmobile. So the snow coach, if folks aren't familiar, is this image right here. It's basically a big van with like tank tracks on it. Pretty cool experience just in and of itself, but that's going to be how you get into the park. And there are authorized companies that handle the access to the park, whether it's from the south, the east, the west, or the north gates. There are authorized companies that will allow you in there. So you would need to link up with some of them, and I'd be happy to pass along specific information on who those companies are if folks are interested. But from the kind of snow coach side, there's 14 companies that you can link up with, and that's 14 around the entire park. From the south gate itself, there's 3 companies that you can link up with. And then from the snowmobile side of things, again, for each and every gate, there's 13, or from just Jackson specifically, there's going to be 5. So within those, again, you can access the park during wintertime, and you just get that pure solitude of the park, but still able to see everything once you get there. And once you get there, depending on the tours, some might be a snow coach tour, some might be a snowmobile tour, or you could cross-country ski. You can snowshoe if you want to do kind of your own self-guided type of tour. So again, the National Elk Refuge and Winter in Yellowstone are really kind of lesser known, but great features of Wyoming and that northwest corner. So I'll stop share here, and that's actually the end of my side of things. So thanks everybody for kind of putting up with the ridiculousness that it was. I can't imagine being on your end of it, but thanks for sticking around during the frustration. Hopefully everyone learned some things. And again, if anyone needs more information, happy to send your way or send through Wayne. So thanks again, everybody.
Thanks so much, Jim. I really appreciate your time, and don't go away, everybody. We've still just got a little bit more to go. We've got one more quiz question to go, but thank you, Jim. I learned quite a bit from that, and your state has such amazing kind of classic spots for Kiwis to travel to, which resonate really well. I especially love that National Elk Refuge. That looked amazing. So, okay, guys, we'll go on to our last question now on the Kahoot quiz. So, how can you access Yellowstone National Park in the winter? The easy one. All right, and the answer is, of course, by Snow Coach and Snowmobile. Everyone got that right. Fantastic. Great. All right. I'm not going to announce the winner just yet, but if you've got any questions, now's a great time to post them. If I can't answer the question, then I will definitely get back to you. If you've got any further comments or questions, please email me on my email address there. And we've got some questions that have been posted. What do you do if you come across a bison? Amanda asks.
Sure. So if you come across a bison, which odds are in Grand Teton or Yellowstone, you're going to see a bison. But definitely do not go towards the bison. If you see them on the side of the road, don't get out of your car to get a closer look. You know, that's why they made zoom on cameras. So zoom in on that bison versus getting out to get a closer look on the bison. If you do happen to, I don't know, I guess if you're hiking and you come across one, if it's startled, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be a bad time for you. But if you kind of see it coming, if you can keep some distance, just kind of slowly back away. Don't spook it. Definitely don't get closer to it, anything like that. The park has a rule of from big, kind of the big bison and elks and kind of the big wildlife like that. You want to stay at least 25 feet away, if not more. That's even for my comfort level, still a little too close. But yeah, don't get close to them. They won't really charge unless they feel threatened. So kind of keep the mutual respect there between you and the bison. You should be okay.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Jim, for your great advice there, and thanks, Amanda, for your question. All right, so now let's go and have a look and see who has won the $150 worth of Visa gift cards. I'm now going to go back to Kahoot, and congratulations to third prize, Amiable Leopards. Second is Epic Emu, and congratulations to Zany Conda. Zany Conda, I know that's just a name that's been created for you by Kahoot. If you could email me, that would be great. We'll get your $150 worth of vouchers off to you. I've just got a little bit more to go, guys. So Zany Conda, if you could email me, that would be great. Our next webinar will be 2 weeks from today, on the 5th of August. It will be itinerary highlight will be a Northern Cali Sierra Nevada road trip. We've got Penny Brand coming along to join us. Penny represents Mammoth Lakes, Visit Napa Valley, Yosemite, Mariposa, and North and South Lake Tahoe. So mark that in your calendars. I'll be sending an invite out to you again. Thank you very much, Jim, for your time and chatting to us today. And thank you to everybody who took the time to join us. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you've got any questions, please just email me, and I look forward to welcoming you to our next webinar on the 5th of August. Thanks, team, and have a great day.